Alright, it's going right now. You want me to put it on the speaker? Okay, sounds good. Alright, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear just fine. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you right.
Okay, great. So you're not holding your phone, right?
No, I'm holding my phone.
Alright, fantastic. So you're going to answer all your questions towards the camera that's recording video, okay?
Right there, gotcha.
Alright, fantastic. Tell me your name, your location, and your occupation.
Okay, it's Jason Febres. I'm located in Wichita, Kansas. I'm the executive chef and co-owner of Taste and See. That's about it.
Fantastic. Tell me about your restaurant. Again, look into the camera and tell me about your restaurant. What sort of foods do you cook?
Taste and See is a Latin fusion restaurant, so what we did here was taking my Latin background and mix it with food from all around the world. So it's a pretty unique concept. It's a fun food, very sexy cuisine, and very, very good looking food, for sure.
Fantastic, I love it. So tell me a little bit about your background becoming a chef. How many years have you been doing it, and how many restaurants are you working?
As far as background, I've been cooking since I'm 13 years old. I probably work in about 20 restaurants, and I have tried to lead almost every single one that I'm in usually. If I started as a cook when I was younger, I would go all the way to be a chef as possible. And nothing lately, I have been opening my own restaurants, and here I am at Taste and See. This one has been going great actually. Open for 2 years, going great.
Perfect, great. List any awards or accolades you've received during your career.
Actually, Wichita has been a great home for that. I came here 5 years ago, and since then I have probably won about 5 to 7 awards. 3 times Celebrity Chef Cook-Off. I'm the only one actually in Wichita holding that record, and the first one. 2 times Top Chef here in Wichita, which is called Iron Chef Wichita. It's celebrated downtown. I won that one twice already. And several other like little and lower scale competitions. But the Celebrity Chef Cook-Off is probably the biggest one in the Marriott Hotel. Every year is the top 10 chefs of Wichita. And I have beat that one 3 times in a row actually.
Perfect, great. Okay, we're going to change gears here. We're going to talk about kind of cooking terms. Give me a cooking term and what it means.
A cooking term?
Yeah, so for example, braising. What's braising and how do you do it?
Okay, poaching. Poaching is one of my favorite things to do. It's just dipping different kind of elements in hot water or sometimes even oil to bring out the natural colors of it or brighten the colors in the products.
Perfect, great. Hit me with another term. I love it.
Braising is also one of my favorites, which means searing very strongly or in high heat a piece of food, usually a protein, and then finishing in the oven with its own liquids. It just increases the flavor in the liquid and it helps reduce. After that, you use that same juice to create a pan juice or actually kind of drizzle the dish itself at the end for decoration or for flavor purposes.
Perfect, great. Hit me with another term. I love it.
One of the ones that I like lately is torching, which is actually taking a torch. I'm not sure if that one is in the Food's Lover Companion, but it's something that I use a lot, and it's actually using a torch or a high flame to brown things at the very end. It helps for kind of giving it like a tan color to products, finishing a dessert or pretty much anything.
Great, yeah, and give me an example of a dessert that you use to brown that torch with.
Suspiros. Suspiros is pretty much a foam, kind of like an egg, a whipped egg, and it's put on top of a lot of Latin desserts, and it's pretty much whipped eggs with some kind of infusion. It could be anise, it could be vanilla, and then after you whip those eggs, you just put a dollop and then you finish it instead of baking it, pretty much.
Perfect. Okay, so now teach me some techniques: stirring, cutting, plating. Teach me some techniques.
Techniques. Well, as far as like cooking or what exactly?
Yeah, as far as cooking. So, for example, I use a paring knife for small intricate work, but I also like it for deveining shrimp, something like that.
Oh, okay. I also teach cooking classes, so we have something called Cooking 101, which we do a lot of these things. From chef knives, used to slice or cut any big chunks of meats, vegetables, or anything in big sizes. We can use carving knives, which is a little thinner, about 10 inches longer, It's very useful to go in between slices of meat to take out the bones, to take out skin, to take out fat. Then we have a slicing knife, which is a little bigger than a boning knife, and it's very useful for fillets of fish. It's very basic techniques, but those are the ones that I consider they're the best ones to get started. It's very useful to slice a fish, also take off skin, or take out big amounts of fat out of a piece of protein usually. Paring knives, as you were saying, very useful to carve, to give shape to vegetables, to decorate actually, to peel anything small. Usually anything small can be handled with a paring knife, which a good chef should be able to use a paring knife and pretty much do anything else that I named before. Other techniques will be, let's see,
That was good, that was good. So say something like each knife has its own use and its own purpose, say something like that.
Well, each of our knives that we're going to present today have a specific purpose, and they're used from a very, very specific procedure in the kitchen.
Great. And then teach me a technique of using, let's say a chef's knife or a longer knife. How do I use a longer knife, and what's the proper procedure for cutting meat?
The chef knife usually goes anywhere between 10 and 14 inches depending on the size of the person. It also depends what kind of weight do you like. So pretty much when you go pick a knife, especially a chef knife, which you're going to be using 80% of the day, you want to make sure it weights, or the weight of the knife is very comfortable for you. So it's a very personal thing. Then when it comes to the cutting or utilizing it in the kitchen, when it comes to meat, pretty much it helps to slice any big slice of meat, any big portion of meat, such as a ribeye, a good sized fillet. It's going to be great for portioning. So it's going to have a nice clean cut through the steak. It's not going to stop. It's going to pretty much be very comfortable. As far as the material goes, anybody usually, they can either use plastic ones or they can use metal ones. I usually suggest anything that is comfortable for you. I will not go for metal handles just because they slide, so stay with anything between plastic or other materials which they have a better grip.
Perfect, great. How do you save a restaurant money? How do you save a restaurant, let's say 20% in costs?
I usually stay on top of the butts of anybody in the kitchen so they don't throw any waste to the trash. That's the very, very beginning right there.
Perfect. And say by using all of the products, and then give me one or two examples, we can save 20% of our overhead costs.
When it comes to products, I usually love to start with onions. Onions is one of the products highly used in a kitchen, no matter where you come from, first of all. Onion tips is one of the main things that cooks love to throw to the trash. Tomato tips. Any of the tips that you can name in a kitchen are usually going to go to the bottom of the trash. That will be the first one. And that's vegetables, which vegetables pretty much represents 10 and over % of every single meal that you prepare. If you want to add some more percentage to that, let's just take the protein, which covers about 50 or 60% of the meal. The fats, fat, skin, bones, those are all going to go to the trash with a lot of meat sticking to them. So usually what you do, staying on top of the cooks or anybody under your command, you're going to make sure when they slice, take off fat, take off anything off a steak, or the way I do it, I actually buy the whole piece of meat. When they're cleaning it, they have to take as less possible meat with the skin, with the fat. That way it doesn't go to the trash or to waste.
Great. So, say something like, by staying on top of, my staff, making sure that they're going through proper procedures, we can yield almost 90% of the whole product or something like that. I can give you a percentage.
Okay. By staying on top of my crew, I can assure my restaurant or any other restaurant to save about 10 to 20% in waste. That way we have an 80% yield that can be actually distributed between labor and profit at the end of the day.
Perfect, I love that. Is there one more way that you can either save costs or increase revenue for a restaurant?
It's called, the magic word is labor. you have to cut as much or as many people possible off the clock when there's no labor, when there's no action in the kitchen. That means between peak hours, yeah, you want to make sure to have a whole staff or a proper staff, just so you can give a better service, because you want to assure that. But as soon as the action goes down, or as soon as the customers are leaving, you start cutting people, which usually creates anywhere between 5 to 10% extra. It cuts anywhere between 5 or 10% extra in cost, labor cost.
Right. So say something like staying on top of who's going to be on time, or sorry, clocks and shifts. You know, say that in one sentence. You can save 10% labor costs. One sentence.
Okay. The chef or general manager should stay on top of the staff in order to cut them off or cut them early to save some money, anywhere between 5 to 10% at the end of the month.
Perfect, love it. What gets neglected in the kitchen when it comes to cleaning objects? Anything?
Wow, that's a very good question. Fridges, usually nobody likes to clean a fridge inside. Walk-ins are usually forgetting just because they have so much clutter. Usually people like to stock everything in the fridge. Floors is very important. People forget about the floor just because it's not visible to a customer. It doesn't mean it's not important for the restaurant.
Great. And how do you properly clean a walk-in?
Walk-ins, you're supposed to clear everything from the floor, which there shouldn't be anything on the floor. Anything should be over 6 inches from the floor according to health regulations. Hot water is very important, with a little soap and sometimes a very, very little percent of our bleach. Also, sanitizer pills are great for cleaning floors, and the walk-in, of course. They're not corrosive, they're not going to damage the flooring from the walk-in.
Perfect. Are you a big stickler when it comes to cleanliness in your kitchen?
I like to bug everybody to do one different area a day, because people, here's the deal, people love, kitchen staff hates cleaning days. So one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make is to schedule all the kitchen staff, and sometimes even front of the house staff, to come one day a week to do deep cleaning. So I'm a big believer that if everybody does one area, deep cleaning, I'm talking about deep cleaning, one area a day, everything is going to be fixed. Everything is going to be clean, because you're going to do it on a regular basis. It's not going to accumulate. Nobody is going to hate cleaning day. Let's put it that way.
Perfect. I love it. What can you contribute to Bar Rescue? Why are you the best chef for us?
Bar Rescue, I'm just very anal about making good food, making it look good, and working in a clean surface. So my food looks amazing. I think every single restaurant, every single chef, when I Google stuff, when I look recipes, even when I watch shows on TV, which I'm not going to name anyone's, I have seen top chef, very good recognized chef, creating dishes, not about being cocky or anything else, because when I see my dishes and I compare them with theirs, there's nothing to be jealous about. So I just see what I do and I compare it with what people does. Hey, I have a heck of extra stuff to bring to the table for sure.
Perfect. What's your personality type? What do you like?
Outgoing, love the camera, love the scene, love to be on the spotlight. Pretty much a little attention freak. So I'm a chef, I'm a leader, I'm a straightforward, I'm a go-getter. I will tell people to their face whatever I have to tell them. I don't care what they think about it. If they don't like it, you know what? They can get out of there, and I'm next, whoever is next, and I'll just look for new people for the kitchen.
Great. It sounds like you'll do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Oh yeah, you bet on that for sure.
All right, fantastic. One more time, tell us your name, your location, and your occupation. Big smile into the camera whenever you're ready.
Okay, Jason Febres. I'm the executive chef and co-owner of Taste and See. Probably the best food right now in Wichita, Kansas. Open every day of the week. Latin fusion cuisine. It's the new trend around the United States, baby.
Cool, I love it. And do you have any Latin flair to you?
Well, I'm from Venezuela. I'm from Caracas. We're from the Caribbean, so we love everything that is sexy, with a lot of move, with a lot of colors, and a lot of flavors. So usually my food is the one that represents my passion for cuisine. And the customers have to say stuff like, wow, orgasmic, amazing, part in my mouth, and I'm not kidding. It's kind of weird, but people says that about my food.
Perfect, fantastic. Go ahead and hit cut on the camera.
Okay, give me a second.